Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into a topic that fascinates us all: creativity. We often picture creative geniuses as these chaotic, unpredictable forces of nature. But what if I told you that behind the masterpieces and groundbreaking ideas, there are often some surprisingly simple and sometimes downright weird habits? Forget everything you thought you knew about brainstorming sessions and late-night coffee binges. We're about to uncover the hidden routines that secretly fuel the world's most innovative minds. Let's start with something that sounds counterintuitive: embracing boredom. In our hyper-connected world, we're terrified of being bored. The second we have a free moment, we grab our phones. But highly creative people often do the opposite. They intentionally create moments of nothingness. Why? Because when your mind isn't being bombarded with external stimuli, it starts to wander, connects old ideas in new ways. And that's where the magic happens. Think of it like letting a garden rest. You can't plant new seeds every single day. Sometimes the soil needs time to recover and regenerate. Your brain is no different. The next time you're waiting in line or have a few spare minutes, resist the urge to scroll. Just let your mind drift. You'll be amazed at what pops up when you're not actively looking for it. Another surprising habit is a deep, almost obsessive love for walking. We're not talking about a quick stroll to the coffee shop. We're talking about long, aimless walks. Philosophers like Nietzsche and composers like Tchaikovsky were famous for their daily treks. Steve Jobs was known for holding important meetings while walking. There's a scientific reason for this. Walking increases blood flow to the brain and triggers a state of what psychologists call soft fascination, where your attention is held gently, allowing your mind to work on problems in the background. It's a form of active meditation. It gets you out of your head and into the world, where you can observe new things, overhear snippets of conversation, and see patterns you'd miss sitting at a desk. It physically moves you from a stuck state to a state of flow. Now let's talk about something a bit more unconventional: the habit of having multiple, seemingly unrelated hobbies.
Yes.
We're often told to focus, to specialize, to niche down. But many creative powerhouses are actually polymaths. They might be a scientist who's also a jazz pianist, or an author who's also a skilled carpenter. These aren't just distractions. They are vital cross-training for the brain. Learning a new skill in a completely different domain forces your mind to build new neural pathways. It teaches you to think in different frameworks and solve problems from new angles. That knowledge then bleeds back into your main creative work in unexpected ways. A rhythm learned in music could inspire a new structure for a novel. The precision required in woodworking could lead to a breakthrough in coding. So, don't feel guilty about that ukulele you bought or the pottery class you signed up for. You're not being unfocused. You're building a more agile and innovative mind. Here's a big one: creative people are masters of stealing. Now, hold on. I don't mean plagiarism. I'm talking about what Austin Kleon calls steal, like an artist. No idea is born in a vacuum. Every new creation is a remix or a mashup of things that have come before. Truly creative individuals are voracious consumers of culture. They read widely, watch obscure films, listen to all kinds of music, and visit museums. They build a huge mental library of ideas, styles, and techniques. Then when it's time to create, they don't just copy one source. They pull a little bit from here, a little from there, and synthesize it all into something that is uniquely their own. They understand that creativity isn't about conjuring something from nothing. It's about connecting existing dots that no one else thought to connect. So, become a collector of ideas. Fill your brain with as much diverse and high-quality material as you can. It's the raw fuel for your creative engine. This next habit might surprise you: a strict, almost rigid routine. We imagine artists as free spirits working only when inspiration strikes. The reality is often the exact opposite. Author Haruki Murakami famously wakes up at 4 a.m., writes for 5 to 6 hours, and then goes for a run. Many of the most prolific creators in history had incredibly disciplined schedules, because routine automates the small decisions of your day: what to eat, when to work, which frees up mental energy for the hard work of creating. It bypasses the need for motivation. You don't ask yourself, do I feel like writing today? You just sit down and do it because it's 9 a.m., and that's what you do at 9 a.m. This discipline builds momentum and helps push through the inevitable creative blocks. Inspiration is a wonderful visitor, but it's the routine that gets the job done day in and day out. Let's discuss the power of talking to yourself. Yes, you heard that right. It's often seen as a sign of eccentricity. But many creative people have a running dialogue with themselves, either out loud or in a journal. This isn't just random chatter. It's a way to externalize their thoughts. When an idea is just swirling around in your head, it can be vague and messy. But the act of articulating it, forcing it into sentences, makes it concrete. It helps you identify flaws in your logic, clarify your intentions, and explore different possibilities. It's like having a conversation with a trusted collaborator who just happens to be you. Albert Einstein reportedly used to talk to himself, pacing around his study. The next time you're stuck on a problem, try explaining it out loud to an empty room. You might just talk yourself into a solution. Another crucial, yet often overlooked, habit is the cultivation of solitude. In a world that prizes collaboration and networking, creative people fiercely protect their time alone. This isn't about being antisocial. It's about creating the psychic space necessary for deep work. Solitude allows your own inner voice to emerge from the noise of others' opinions and expectations. It's in these quiet moments that you can truly listen to your own thoughts, follow your own strange curiosities, and work without interruption. It's where you can be weird, experiment, and fail without judgment. Susan Cain's work on introversion highlights this perfectly. The most creative breakthroughs often happen when individuals are given the autonomy to think and work alone before bringing their ideas to a group. So, schedule solitude into your calendar just as you would a meeting. It's not empty time. It's essential thinking time. Here's a fun one. Creative people are incredibly playful. As we grow up, we're taught to be serious, to stop playing around and get to work. But innovators and artists often retain a childlike sense of curiosity and play. They build things with Legos. They doodle. They ask what if. It's questions about everything. Play is the brain's favorite way of learning. It lowers the stakes of failure and encourages experimentation. When you're playing, there's no right or wrong answer, which frees you to explore radical ideas you'd normally dismiss as silly. Think of the designers at IDEO who use deep dive brainstorming sessions that feel more like organized chaos than a corporate meeting. They use play to break down inhibitions and foster a culture where any idea is welcome. So, give yourself permission to be silly. Make a mess. Try something just for the fun of it. Your most serious breakthrough might come from your least serious moment. Finally, let's touch on the habit of finishing things. This sounds obvious, but it's a huge hurdle for many aspiring creatives. We love the excitement of starting a new project, but when we hit the messy middle, the part that is hard and not as fun, we often get distracted by another, newer, shinier idea. Highly creative people develop the grit to push through that discomfort. They understand that done is better than perfect. They know that the act of finishing a project, even if it's not a masterpiece, teaches them invaluable lessons they can apply to the next one. Ira Glass talks about the gap, the period where your taste is excellent, but your skills haven't caught up yet, and your work is disappointing. The only way to close that gap is by producing a huge volume of work, by finishing project after project. So pick one of your half-finished ideas and see it through to the end. The confidence and knowledge you will gain from that one finished piece is worth more than 100 brilliant but incomplete ideas. So there you have it, the unexpected habits that fuel real creativity. It's not about waiting for a lightning bolt of inspiration. It's about cultivating a lifestyle that invites ideas in, embracing boredom. Walking aimlessly, cross-training your brain with hobbies, collecting and remixing ideas, building disciplined routines, and never losing your sense of play. It's about doing the work, especially when it's hard. I hope this gave you a fresh perspective and some practical habits you can start building today. Which of these surprised you the most? Let me know down in the comments. I love reading your thoughts and experiences. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. If you enjoyed this video and got some value from it, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel for more content just like this. It really helps us grow and keep making these videos for you. Until next time, stay curious and keep creating. Bye.